So last month we met Ange Postecoglou, the Spurs gaffer. His parents are refugees, and he obviously told us about the parents and the big influence that they had on his career. Your father, he himself is a refugee.
Yeah.
Can you talk to his experience and what that was like and how that might have affected you?
So yeah, the big thing is obviously my dad had very strong opinions, and he was part of the people that protested against one of the most dangerous dictatorships in the world at the time. Mobutu was the president at the time, and because of this he had to flee the country. And when he got into Belgium, he continued his studies. He was a taxi driver whilst he was doing his studies in a new country where there wasn't many black people at that time, at the universities as well, so it was quite tough. And he built himself a life, and he became the first ever black mayor in the whole of Belgium. And his story is something I'm very, very proud of. My mother as well, though, was very driven. She was
have to include her.
She was a unionist as well, so very strong opinions, very much against injustice. And so we were raised by people with definitely passion and convictions, yeah.
Growing up then, your own memories of growing up in Belgium, can you tell us more about that?
So how we'll try to summarize it, right? I had extremely wonderful, educational, happy periods of my life with my parents. We didn't have a lot of money, but they took us places. We visited museums, and we visited places. We always had this debate at the table as well that was going from a very young age. But then in the same time, my dad lost his job, my parents got separated at some point. We lived with our dad on our own for a while, and it was in a tough neighborhood. It was a very difficult place. I got thrown out of school. I got thrown out of the national team when I was younger. So I had this extremely positive experience, but also things that could have been traumatizing as well that happened in my youth that I would say, okay, I don't want either my children to go through it or any child.
So how did you cope then?
Determination, drive, passion, and we're very, I think we were still supported. That's an important thing to mention, We were still supported. I don't think anyone comes out of it in the right way if you don't have at some point people saying, okay, we're there for you, we're going to help you, and we had that.
So you've been a player, now you're a manager, you're a parent. The roles are so diverse and so different. So parenting especially, how does that compare to, your working roles?
It's very similar.
Really?
It's very similar.
Shouting?
It's both. It's a mix sometimes, but most of the time it's accepting that they will make mistakes and giving them solutions or answers to the questions that they have, and every now and then say, hang on a second, I'm not happy with this. But it's very similar. I think when I was a footballer, I didn't have a job that related to parenting, but now that I'm a manager, I can see the link.
Yellow, red card to the kids sometimes, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
So at Man City, you achieved so many trophies over the years, and you look back on your career as a player, obviously that's now to one side. Is it hard for you to put that to one side and enter into this new chapter, looking for that next big rush? Have you found it hard to adapt from player to manager?
Do you know what? It's difficult to almost bring yourself back into the world of I was a player. And I feel that for me it's been a very healthy thing, because I think if you finish your career, how do you move on? Because you play for whatever amount of years. I said since the age of 6 I play football in a club, in a team, and I go, and then at 34, 35 I'm like, what do you do next? And so I find that management has helped me put that to one side and say, okay. And it's funny because sometimes, we have Sky Sport and the sports channels, and And I walked past yesterday and there was literally a half-an-hour documentary on my career. And I walked past and I said, oh yeah, I did that, but it's never at the forefront of my mind. So that's me too, you know, it gave me a little bit, I walked a little bit with my chest up because I thought, but it's so far away from my day-to-day. I'm wanting to be the best at what I do now, and that matters more to me than anything.
Thank you so much for today.
Thank you all. So what do I learn? How do you say thank you? I speak 4 languages, nearly 5, so this could be 5 or 6.
Thank you. Very simple from the chin.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.